In this video, you will learn how to convert fractions to terminating decimals. Fractions and decimals are both ways to name values that lie between whole numbers. They're both ways to name part of a whole. They can name the same value, they just look different. We can start with a fraction and rename it to a decimal that has the same value, and we can also start with a decimal and rename it to a fraction that has the same value. In this video, we will look at two methods for how to change a fraction to a decimal. The first method is to find a multiple of 10 for your denominator. So you multiply to rename the fraction so that it has a denominator of 10 or 100 or 1,000, etc. This way is not always the easiest, and it doesn't always work. But for some problems, it is the easiest way. It's quicker and easier than using a calculator in the second method that I'll show you later. Example number 1, write 3/5 as a decimal. We need to get the fraction to have a denominator that's a multiple of 10. 10, 100, 1,000. So right now it's 5. Can we multiply that 5 by anything in order to make it a 10 or 100 or 1,000? Yeah, we can multiply it by 2. So let's multiply the top and bottom of this fraction by 2, which is really just like multiplying it by one whole. Doesn't change the value. It's just renaming it. 3 times 2 is 6, so that's our numerator. And 5 times 2 is 10, so that is our new denominator. 6/10. 6/10 is exactly the same as 3/5. It's just written differently, cut into smaller pieces. 6/10 read out loud also sounds the same as when we write it as a decimal, 6/10. We put a 6 in the tenths place. So when we rewrite the fraction 3/5 as a decimal, we write that it is equal to 0.6 or 6/10. Example number 2, write 1/20th as a decimal. We want to make the denominator on the bottom a multiple of 10. So how can we make 20 into either 10 or 100 or 1,000? We can multiply it by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 20 times 5 is 100. So we can rewrite 1/20th as 5/100ths. The hundredths place is the second digit after the decimal. So we want to place the 5 in the hundredths place. Then we need to just fill any extra space with zeros, like this. So rewriting 1/20th as a decimal is 0.05, also known as 5/100ths. Now let's look at another method, dividing. This method always works, even if you could change the denominator to a multiple of 10. Sometimes changing the denominator to a multiple of 10 is a quick way to change a fraction to a decimal mentally, but this division trick will always work to change any fraction to a decimal. Let's take a look. Example number 3, write 3/5 as a decimal. So we're going to divide 3 divided by 5. Go ahead, punch that into a calculator. Your calculator is going to say 0.6. That's because 3/5 is equal to 6/10, just like we figured earlier. Example number 4, write 5/7 as a decimal. So let's figure out 5 divided by 7. This one's not going to be quite so pretty as the last one. Your calculator is going to fill up with numbers. Try it. See what I mean? So what does that mean? Do we need to write all of these numbers out? Well, let's get rid of the calculator to take a look. If you look carefully, you'll see a pattern starting. 0.7142857 Do you hear that 7-1 again? Most calculators only display 8 digits on the screen at a time. So that 7142857 is actually 0.7142857142857 repeating, and so on and so on and so on forever. So we can actually rewrite it like this. We write out the whole thing with all the decimal points that repeat, and then we put a bar over the top of just the digits that repeat. In this case, all the digits repeat, so we put a bar over the entire thing because the 714285 repeats over and over again. 5/7 as a decimal is 0.714285. Example number 5, write 5/6 as a decimal. So let's use the division method. 5 divided by 6. This one will be interesting when you punch this one in the calculator. Go ahead, try it. 5 divided by 6. Whoa, 0.833333333. I wonder if that's the exact answer. 8 with 7 threes. Oh wait, remember, your calculator probably only displays 8 digits. That actually repeats forever. So how are we going to write this on our papers without writing a million bajillion threes? In this case, the 8 doesn't repeat, but the 3 does. So we can rewrite this as 0.83, and then we just put the bar over the 3. The 3 is the only digit that repeats. If you put the bar over the 8 and the 3, that would mean 83, 83, 83, 83, etc. So be sure that you only put the bar over the digit or digits that actually repeat. Example number 6, write 8/9 as a decimal. So let's divide. 8 divided by 9. Okay, wait. 8 divided by 9 is 0.8888889. Okay, wait a minute. Does that mean I need to write down the decimal and then 7/8 and a 9? What is that 9 doing there? Oh, remember, your calculator only shows you 8 digits. So that 9 is kind of tricky. It's not actually supposed to be a 9. Your calculator had to stop the number somewhere. So it cut off all the 8s at the end and rounded up. So the calculator had to look to the next digit to see what it would be. And because it's an 8, it's 5 or higher, meaning you would round that last digit that was an 8 up to a 9. So the calculator apparently likes to confuse us. So when you write this answer, don't write 0.888888889, since it's really just a whole bunch of 8s that repeat one after another. You can just write 0.8 with a line over the 8. Now you should know how to convert fractions into decimals. Thanks for watching.